Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stargate, the hybridity of social science and science fiction. Now, Stargate was released in 1994, and it stars Kurt Russell and James Spader, both very prominent actors in the 80s and 90s. Kurt Russell was mostly an action star, but you might know him from such movies more recently as The Hateful Eight and also Guardians of the Galaxy. James Spader, you might know as Ultron in Age of Ultron, but also from Pretty in Pink. It was directed by Roland Emmerich, who also directed Independence Day, The Patriot, and White House Down. A quick synopsis is a U.S. military team led by Colonel Jack O'Neill, who's played by Kurt Russell, along with the help of Egyptologist and linguist Dr. Daniel Jackson, played by James Spader, investigate an interplanetary wormhole to discover that ancient Egypt was visited and influenced by an alien race called the Goa'uld. Now, why is Stargate considered sci-fi? Well, the big distinction between sci-fi and a horror genre is the type of monster. And in this case, the Goa'uld are the monster. And the Goa'uld are an overpowering species that have traversed and conquered the galaxy, even landing on Earth for a little bit. Now, one important thing about the Goa'uld to mention is that they are a symbiotic alien species, so they cannot exist independently. They do have to have a host body in order to survive. One other element that makes Stargate sci-fi is it's dealing with interplanetary space travel. So this wormhole device was brought to Earth by the alien race, but it is indeed powered by Earth elements, most prominently quartz. One other thing to mention is that Stargate falls into the subgenre of social science fiction. So it's the incorporation of factual archaeological elements of ancient Egypt or just history in general into the fictionalized storyline. Metaphors, allegories, and ideologies. So for an ideology, the most prominent one is the military presence, but led by a scholar. So the military might be forceful, but education and reason help win in the end. The coexistence of power and logic are very important. You cannot have one without the other and actually be successful. One metaphor that this movie could serve as is a metaphor for the war against the Middle East. So this movie came out in 94, was filmed probably in the early 90s when there were numerous altercations surrounding America and the Middle East at that time. And this could also be an allegory as well. So it could be an allegory for America the hero. This was very prominent in sci-fi films in the 80s and 90s. The American military has painted itself as the hero for international conflict in several wars in history, but especially during conflicts in the Middle East at this time. But it could also be seen as a World War II allegory where America saves the terrified alien race from the conquering alien race. Representations of gender. So the male gender is most prominent and most important. All but one of the major characters are men. And female gender is secondary and is mostly used as a plot device to enhance the male storyline. Representations of sexuality. So the singular female character is introduced in a sexual context and only is there to enhance the male storyline, as previously stated. We see the female character for the first time. Her name is Cherie, and she is the daughter of the leader of the tribe of this peaceful alien race that the military first stumbles upon. And she is given as a gift to Dr. Daniel Jackson by her father, the tribe leader. And, supposed to be given as a gift in a sexual context. Daniel Jackson obviously declines, but throughout the film, we see the course of their love story beginning to grow, yada, yada, yada. The male characters in the movie are all very fit, very idealized, very attractive. Even the traditionally nerdy character of Daniel Jackson is very fit and attractive. Representations of race. The white soldiers see the alien race as primitive, unsophisticated, and savages. It's talking about the conquered alien race, so the tribe that they first meet. But this could be a mirror of the ethnocentricity of Americans. This is very prominently displayed early in the film, where there is a party scene for the American military, and they are a little put off by the types of food, the music, the dancing. They're a little iffy about everything. But the actual alien race, the conquering alien race, sees humans as primitive, unsophisticated, which is why they kidnapped and enslaved humans. For representations of class, a distinction of classes plays a major role within the film. Aliens visited Earth and rose to godly status, more like put themselves there, and enslaved and kidnapped the Egyptian people. White characters within the film portray their own class biases. So, despite being on a different planet, the white soldiers portray and display classist ethnocentric behavior, which is very prominent in the party scene, as we previously discussed. For technology, the abuse of technology is the catalyst for the plot. Technology is essentially all about power and control. The US military found the Stargate buried deep in the desert in Egypt and decided to claim it and take it home as theirs in order to use it for their own potential gain. Technology is to be feared by those who do not possess it or understand it. This can be seen from this picture, where it is depicted in the film that ancient Egyptians tore down the Stargate after the Goa'uld left, to not have them come back ever again. But also, technology is to be celebrated by those who possess it and use it. Here is a video clip discussing the Goa'uld's just general use of technology, but also their So in that clip, we did see their view of technology, but then also just their general view of what they think about our civilization and Earth in general. For the impact in canon. So Stargate at the time kind of pioneered wormhole technology in the sci-fi genre. They were pretty much responsible for kind of creating and defining what it means for sci-fi. There were a couple science fiction films and TV shows that were using wormhole technology, but in the actual, factual use of it, factual use of wormholes, and not necessarily in a technology-based one, where it's like a created use of a wormhole. It was very innovative in terms of the use of just social science fiction in general. There was only one other media at the time, Battlestar Galactica, that was really, doing the same kind of thing where it was incorporating social science elements into science fiction, at least in terms of TV and movies media. And also, it launched several TV series: Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, and Stargate The Universe. These are all pretty popular and successful series in their own respective rights, but it also launched a few made-for-TV movies as well. Okay, and that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.